This video is going to show you how to do the long tail cast on for knitting. Casting on is simply the process of getting the yarn onto the needle so that you can then knit the yarn. There are several methods of casting on. I prefer the long tail method because I believe it produces a nice, even, sturdy and elastic edge to whatever knit project I am making. The only downside to the long tail cast on is that you need to estimate how much yarn you need to cast on. Your pattern will tell you how many stitches you need to cast on. In this case, you can see 46 stitches. But then how do you know how much yarn to set aside to cast on with? How do you know how much yarn you need for those 46 stitches? And this is a little trick that I do. I take my two needles and I hold them together, and I leave about 6 to 12 inches, depending on if I'm casting, 20 stitches on or 100. And then I wrap the yarn as many times as I'm told to cast on. So if I were needed to cast on for 46 stitches, I would wrap this 46 times. In this case, I'm only going to cast on for 10 stitches. So I have my 10 wraps, and then I'm going to leave another tail towards the end. And at the end of that tail is where I'm going to start my cast on, and specifically I'm going to make a slip knot here. And how I do my slip knot is I take it, so between my ring and my pinky finger, I wrap around. When it comes back across, I put my finger there, I turn my hands over, I pull up, once again this is the working yarn, from behind, grab that little loop and cinch down. Okay, once you get it cinched, the only thing that should move is your working yarn. Your tail yarn is not going to cinch it. Okay, only your working yarn is going to cinch it. So then I put my needle in, snug it up a little. We don't want to get it real tight, just snug it up a little. So now we're ready to cast on, and I'm casting on 10 stitches, right? So this is number 1. And so once again, I put my yarn between my pinky and my ring finger, and I go around and give myself a little bit of yarn there. I go around the back of my thumb, I come forward, and I've created that X right here. I put my needle up underneath that X, and I take my working yarn and I wrap it around. And then this is the yarn that was over my thumb. I slip it over the needle. And this time, using the tail yarn, I just snug it up a little, all right? And you can actually use both yarns. Just snug it up, once again, not real tight. Okay. So I hold it between my pinky and my ring finger. I go around my thumb. I go back up front. I go underneath. I take my working yarn. I wrap it around, and I hold. This is the yarn that was around my thumb. Slip it over the needle. Around my thumb. Underneath. Take my working yarn, wrap it around, take my thumb yarn and pull it off. Okay? Once again, wrap it around my thumb, up underneath, wrap my yarn around, and pull it off. Once again, you want to use the same tension throughout, okay? And you'll find your tension and just find it and stay with it. 4, 6, 8, 10. I got one too many. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay? Practice your slip stitch and your cast on stitches with a variety of different yarns and different needle sizes until you develop a consistent tension. And then when you're comfortable with your cast on, then pop on over and see our next videos about how to knit and how to purl. And with those 2 stitches, your options are unlimited as to what you can knit. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give us a thumbs up to help other people find it. And if you'd like to see more videos from Nourish and Nestle, click the little nest on the bottom right-hand corner. And to refer back to the written post about casting on, click the little I in the upper right-hand corner. Have a great day.